Taranissi, you and the HFEA are not very good bedfellows. Why is that?
I don't know, I wouldn't describe it as such. I think we had our kind of differences and arguments and stuff like that, but it was always, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, it was done for the right reasons. I mean, we felt that there are things that maybe will help the patients and we just wanted to implement them. And sometimes I can understand from a regulator point of view, you have to be a little bit careful and you may take your time, but I think this should eventually not be a reason to stop I don't know, good treatment to take place in any country. So there is a fine line between really being, I don't know, looking at everything that is to do with a new treatment, but not paralyzing the progress and not allowing people to do things that eventually only the patients will benefit from it. But I mean, most of what we've tried to implement or discuss with the HFEA, we've managed to get them licensed. So it just shows that it wasn't completely wrong. I mean, things like egg freezing, we were the first clinic to try and get the license. Things like something called PGS, which is effectively checking embryos for chromosomal problems. We were also the first clinic to try and get a license in this country. We've also done the first cases of what was called as savior siblings at the time, when you can check embryos for potential problems and so on and so forth. So it's been a long journey, but it has created also problems and controversy and friction and so on, but it's okay, we're still here.
What are your main bones of contention with each other?
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes there is a misconception about the HFEA as a body, because I think the perception of the public about the HFEA is that it's made of very senior clinicians, people are top of the game as far as the technology is concerned and so on, which is not actually the case. And it might surprise a lot of people that the HFEA is not an expert body. And it's not actually me saying this, that's the Parliament. And they were intentionally made in, sort of composed in that way, so they are predominantly made of lay people. And the main focus of the HFEA when it was brought into existence in 1990 was to look at the ethical and legal framework of new technology that society as a whole at the time were not sure exactly which way it's going to go. So this was mainly why it was brought into existence, but this role seemed to have expanded, and I'm not quite sure why or how. And this is where sometimes there is a little bit of confusion and contradiction and conflict.
But some of the challenges that you face, some of the criticism that you face from the HFEA involved some of the drugs that are used and some of the practices that you adopt, which are challenged as unethical, or not as far as that?
I don't think you can say unethical, because at the end of the day we are licensed to do them and we're still practicing, so we're not really doing something that is so bad that we cannot practice. But we have different views about certain things. I mean, we try to push the boundaries a little bit, and rightly so, because it has helped a lot of people, and a lot of the stuff that we introduced has become commonplace now, more or less. So, I mean, I guess it's come with the job, and I think as long as you're prepared to fight your corner, and rightly so, and try and explain and persevere with your explanation and so on, life goes on.